Norway is a cold but equally attractive country of the north, with its natural beauty, architectural living standards, and strange traditions and laws. It is impossible not to think that they live on another planet as long as they know Norwegian. Well, what is different from other countries? Then, let's watch and understand together. In Norway, every prisoner has unlimited internet. Not only this, each has its own plasma TV, shower, and even private rooms if they want to be alone. But the crime rate is very low. Even from the Second World War, then a number of police killed is 10. Norway is one of the three countries with the highest standard of living, and they work only 6 hours a day. People should have time to work, relax, and be with their families and friends. Work should remain in the background, because the state thinks that people who have more time to rest can think better and be more reasonable. The population is only 6 million. Also, the busy theory has a population of 650,000. However, the state prefers smaller, colorful, beautiful, simple, and Norwegian-style houses rather than tall buildings, because they believe that nature conservation is the key to a more comfortable life. Therefore, there is a special care for animals. For example, if the step you take does not improve your dog's standard of living, then it is strictly forbidden to sterilize it. Otherwise, the person is arrested, and whether pets are harmed is often checked by the state. There are 450,000 lakes in the country, and nature is the greatest entertainment of human beings. Since the majority of the population wants a quiet place outside the city, they come to the owl terraces by the lake to rest. Wild animals are so accustomed to humans that you can come across wild deer in very center of the village you can. Even if you are not famous, the state pays attention to every art. People who want to write and helps them. For example, the state allocates a monthly salary in the name of a grant to those who want to write a book, and pays if until the book runs out. Even after the book is finished, the state helps all libraries were tasked with receiving this book and delivering it to the people. It can also be a source of confidence for people who want to create something. Of course, the weather is very cold in winter, and life is shaped accordingly. Camping, hiking, and skiing come to fore in this season. Everyone is at a ski center no more than 20 minutes away from house. The forests are already adjacent to the series. In summer, because part of country is hot, the seas are suitable for it. The remaining sand dunes, you can even see people floating in the snow even in the winter months. These lakes, which are hot springs, people also love to swim. Young people recommend camping in the places in the spring and winter. And this entertainment, it is a chance for Norwegian to see the polar lights. Yes, polar lights is a natural glow in the sky as a result of the combination of the Earth's magnetic field and charged particles from the sun. You can both these mates from most of Norway. In Norway, the royal family exists only as a symbol. The right to speak is fully in the parliament. There is no limit to kings like Dogger states. The king had no jury in governing state, has a more historical form, and is the same with everyone before the law. 70% of the population also is Christian. Most people present themselves as atheists, and there are also Muslim immigrants. Those from the Arab world have broad rise here as well. There are 136 Muslim accustions, and 70% of Muslims here are members of these circles. Because Muslims don't want their children to study with Christians, the state is school in Oslo, where only Muslims can study open. Norway has also refused to join the European Union due to high living standards. The decision is based on public opinion polls. The state is fundamentally intertwined with nature. Interstellar roads are built as either bridges or tunnels. The first longest tunnel of 21 km is also in Norway. The structure gave them the revival of a fairy tale architecture. Thanks to houses and other buildings, almost every street has turned into a photo area. For example, here is the Church of Bergen Sifk. Also, the 800 years old church is old. It is very well preserved. It is home to Lane's Foston Bridge and one of the world's most famous waterfalls. In order to protect nature, large hotels and one or two small houses have been built instead of money-making buildings. The country is famous for fishing, and fishing lives are just as beautiful. The houses are colorful and have one floor in accordance with ancient traditions. Especially if you go to village, you may have seen even more than usual. Many houses covered with earthen floors are still retired to create natural beauty. Don't be surprised if the trees are straight out over the house. Each of you has probably seen the movie Charlie and Chocolate Fabric and heard his novel. The houses in which it originated came from Norway, and the chocolate shown there also came from Florida, Norway's most famous chocolate. Well, what is missing in Norway? Let's look at them now. For example, no traffic jams, no waiting for the end of month. People can leave their unwanted belongings on the street. No one comes and steals them. On the contrary, those items are collected by various agencies and replaced where Africa in they are taken. No one deceives each other. In Norway, there are only 100 of prisoners involved in fraud. There is no concept of school. Just, it is enough for a person to want to read. University system is the free for regions and those in poor financial condition. The state gives a lot of money. Violence against children is completely absent. If a teacher sees a small mark on a child's body, he immediately informs the authorities. If the state proves that there is any violence, it immediately takes the child away from the family without hesitation. These checks are done constantly. There is no theft problem again. The lowest crime rate in Norway is theft, and these are most shameful crimes. Norway is also the only country inhabited by night penguins. Penguins Niskboy became a colonel in 2005 years, winning a medal from the Norwegian army. Norway is the first in every subject and Kiki is the first in the subject. It is a country where people can live without thinking about the future, and it seems like a dream to create a problem of religion, race, gender politics. I hope that one day the whole world will have such a industry. Thank you so much for